into their den. Now you go into their playground. That's tough, man.
Something that I'm worried about for Heretics, though, on a map like this is, from the last map, it looked like they were too focused on the flank, on their attacking side, or on their defensive side, sorry. And that's ultimately what fumbled a lot of rounds for them. So FUT might be able to take advantage of that into this map, into Heretics' map pick.
Perhaps. They were late to the fight a lot. You're right about that. And this map does tend to lend itself to more stuff like that. So that very well may be part of the plan, part of the problem. Benji Fishy will get tagged by the stun, but still, of course, recklessly swinging out to take the fight, because why not? Meanwhile, Mingman tried getting out, tried getting the spike down, unfortunately failed, but Heretics might be able to hold him back. Look at Rien's. Cracks at a shock at his feet. What a brutal way for the round to end. Rien's gets 3 there.
Heretics dealt with the fire of FUT's execute there on the B site. Benji Fishy living by a thread of a hair. Nice entry from Woot. And then Rien's just flooding through that smoke, using the shock dart to end the round and finish it for them. A convincing pistol round for Team Heretics on their map pick.
1 step forward, 12 to go. FUT on a broken buy, they don't force anything up. YJ has a sheriff, excuse me, so there's a little something behind this.
This stun got a lot of value last time around. Rien's will sidestep it.
Spike down.
It's the same hit. And he gets this one for it. Benji Fishy has a different set of positioning here, though. And it's going to allow him to move around so much. I mean, he can fully commit to pushing his market. He can flank all the way back into main. And that's exactly where YJ worried about, concerned about. They've left 1 on site. What can Atacap get away with here? That much. They've managed to upgrade a weapon, too, into the hands of CNED. Instantly hits the ground. But they've gotten it down to 2s. They just don't really have the weapons. Mr. Fallen picking up the Bulldog, the flash over the top, but Benji Fishy on the swing behind it, the smoke, the only thing that's keeping them apart. 1 falls. Mr. Fallen, the only one with the weapon, but Patatek's gonna hold to defuse through all of that.
Almost goes the way of FUT here, but just sticking the bomb was Rien's. And Patatek, he did a really good job of using his utility to set up Benji Fishy. I apologize, I believe that was Patatek who stuck the bomb. But yeah, I mean, it was chaotic. That's constant back and forth into that round. The pistol's thriving. CNED got an upgrade with the Bulldog.
That's tough, man. You see, for Heretics, they won that round. That's a Pyrrhic victory. Like, they don't have anything to fight back with here. They're on such a terrible buy.
And that's why you see the Outlaw buy once more for YJ. They'll probably prod up top mid, maybe into market. Just that alone will gather a lot of space for FUT on this attacking side. Very slow approach from FUT once more. Depositing 2 players in B main. That will be the cue for YJ to start walking up into this mid area, but this one-way camera, he's not aware of it yet.
Here.
He's getting so much info off this. He sees that there hasn't been another set of footsteps coming through. And he saw the cage, so he understands that's where the lurk is going to be coming from. Oh, CNED. What a miserable way to get caught like that. Benji Fishy now punishing and still understanding there's a flank. There's pressure coming in from the other side. Decides to tuck into the smoke and try to fight out main. Pays for it with his life, but damage has been dealt. This is the sheriff round that felt like missed all the first half.
And now Woot gets an upgrade with the Outlaw. Even if he gets a tag, that's a W for FUT.
The Boo has been stopped. A stinger in the hands of Patatek. Atacap with a flash in his face tries to turn, and he's so blinded. What can Mr. Fallen do? A 1v3 into inferior weaponry. The tag on the Woot is brutal. The satchel to keep him back. It's gonna do its job. A MasterCard Thrifty as Heretics win the bonus. I mean, do you even call it a bonus?
I don't know what that was. I guess it was, I don't know, Nico?
That's crazy.
I mean, all they invested was sheriffs, but they were steady as a rock with them. Multiple players. Look at, oh my.
I don't even think he saw him.
He didn't see him. CNED didn't see him. And then the use of the satchels here to delay that peek from Mr. Fallen. They pulled a fast one on him, the young kids on the block. Early dagger connects onto two members of FUT, so that will be info gathered for Heretics. The reaction is a speed up in mid from Captain, but nothing else gained for the side of FUT on this.
No, I think at best, you're going to want to get CNED to find something, get a pick, right? Kind of open up the map a little bit. He's the only one with a rifle. The Sheriff's not settling there. They've gotten him really far out. They've gotten him really far up, and he's going to push into spawn. Has to peek ahead of this, though, because he knows he's been spotted, he's been had. He gets his one, but the rifle's not in a position to be scooped up here. But Cracks pushing it anyway. He might succeed. Yeah, he does.
Could be the deciding factor into this round, into this post plant for FUT. Mr. Fallen trying to set him up, supporting utility to keep him alive.
Very cleanly done. Now the Rolling Thunder. It's gonna tag onto one. Patatek managed to get through that unscathed. They're not filling in on the space behind it. Meanwhile, Benji Fishy trying to buy his time. Trying to find it.
No way.
Patatek falls. No, he has to. He's got to come off of it. He gets his one. There's a challenge on the other side. The third. No. Oh, Captain gets them there first, and somehow stays alive. That was madness.
And the hero buy for CNED, he just ran into that B site like a madman, pushing all the way to spawn, and he couldn't convert on the second. Patatek got the trade on him here, but Cracks was able to pick up that rifle and get some more kills going into this round. And Mr. Fallen, he was the star of the show for his team here, delaying that retake, keeping Cracks alive for as long as possible.
So FUT on the board, Heretics on a broken buy. CNED one away from his ult. And Woot ahead of it, aware of it.
Oh.
They've cleared the Roomba, so they don't know he's there. Patience. That's the name of the game here. He knows he's baiting him into it, and he punishes. That setup was there from the beginning.
He was so patient with it. The response from FUT is to take A main control, invest the Thrash into the round, but that KO ult gets him off of it.
FUT have to be careful here. Not only has that part of the plan been snuffed out, but because of how things opened up on B main, they've lost a weapon. That's another rifle into the hands of Heretics.
And on the other end of this, once this KO ult goes down, there's still a dagger that will connect onto 3 players. There it is.
To burn the clock down even more. And then if that's not enough, you have Woot, who's got his ult. You've got Rians, who's got his ult. Delay is the name of the game here. There's the Hunter's Fury. The paranoia out. Patatek trying to land the shots. Cracks falls. Woot invests his as well, but he's not able to find any success. They've got to hurry back and try to pick up the spike with 20 seconds left. They've managed to do so, and now the ult. Position given away. No element of surprise here. Spike planted, the reposition through from Captain. The flash in the face of Benji Fish. He still manages to land the shots and get his one, leaving Rians on his own. No armor in a 1v2. He can't hold him back.
In the face of so much adversity, FUT, they come out on top. They got delayed time and time again. But it was that isolated pick with this Omen flash on a Patatek that was the deciding factor in winning this. Captain just being fully enabled. And then the up-down right here to close it out. A lot of ultimates invested from the side of Team Heretics to try to win that one back.
4 on light armor for the defensive side. Patatek, the man on your screen. The only one without.
Boo, he's playing such a passive little pixel angle here. Doesn't connect, but he gets the info, and he's gonna get out with his life.
He did take some damage in exchange.
It's a really nice flash there.
That's such a deep smoke. I mean, that's a one way to stop them from funneling out of the other side, but he TP'd back into it. I don't think they'd be expecting that. Boo is a really nice spot here. Slows things down, buys his time. Now the retake attempt will come through. You see another smoke coming out from Boo as the drone ventures forth. They're all funneled in here. They've got to be careful. 3 on the site. Look at him tucked in, huddled up, now paranoid, and now dead.
One enemy
But there are
remaining.
layers to this, but all of the layers are crumbling. Every single one of them falling apart. Captain will join his teammates.
Utility for utility. It was that Omen flash from Boo. He saved it the entire round. It flew right across that default box and enabled Woot with the satchel to just clean up house. And this is a lot of the success that we saw Heretics have the last time around playing this map of Sunset. They're so good at retaking both sides of the map and then changing the pace and flooding after that. It's been a back and forth battle, but Heretics, they're running away with the lead just a little bit.
I must wait a moment.
Oh, that's aggressive. That's fast out from CNED.
Very fast, but he's playing with fire right now. That one-way comes up to dissuade him. Yedijay will take all of mid-control off of that.
The fault line certainly didn't help either. The paranoia is going to split the uprights, but you see Yedijay trying to fill in on the space behind it. Benji Fishy still tucked in his cage. He's not even the one who strikes. Now, finding his timing, but CNED, what a hold! He gets 3! But he's going to have to get them all. With the spike in hand, and over a minute left in the round, he can slow things down, I guess. But Heretics' positioning right now on the map is so good.
Might work against them though, Doug, because they are very spread apart. But I imagine that Patatek, he's just going to keep jiggling from this top box, wait for that spike to go down, or maybe a tap from CNED.
Yeah. I mean, their positioning right now is all about reconnaissance, right? The only way that they can safely get through this if they were to go all the way into lobby, into spawn, and then rotate back A. A lot of boxes checked here. A lot of map covered.
30 seconds left.
I mean, as best as you can, given that you only have 2. But CNED, time's running out. If you're going to make a decision, you've got to do so soon. Quick last check of market to find that things are safe. The knife's going to tag him, and now they're on the prowl. Now they know where he is. He still managed to get the spike down. Gets the credits for it, sure. If nothing else, he has that much.
He will be able to delay the bomb defuse. I say that as Patatek just spams him through the smoke.
And the tracers give him away.
I was going to say, I mean, he could have used that nade off the tap, maybe get a spam kill off of that when there's pandemonium on the actual site, people running away from the bomb. Disrespect being shown from Heretics onto CNED. And it's Rians with that supporting utility once more. That dart to help Benji Fishy into market, isolate that kill, and enable him to focus on the site right after.
And even the way Benji Fishy plays that, as soon as he sees the Omen TPing in, he takes a slight step to the left, tucks behind the cover so you know he's not going to get swung main, is able to isolate that as best as he can. Those little decisions there in the chaos are so clean for Heretics.
It's the difference between getting 1 kill and 2 kills, maybe even 3.
Or 3. See the buy for FUT, a Guardian for Mr. Fallen.
Camera taken out.
That's a name we haven't said a ton. But he's quietly put together a decent performance. The only one on his team that's positive right now.
Yedijay is just trapped in top mid. Not able to perform that top mid for his team. And CNED, he will double satchel on the site. It's all up to Woot here.
Here.
Sure, bit too much. Can Benji Fishy strike from the exact same spot? The kid is electric, man. What are you going to do with that rocket? No one's going to swing you.
Biding his time.
Is he going to get rewarded with a kill there? No. Boo throws it in reverse, takes a quick step back, and now venturing forth, pushing forward. FUT have gotten the spike down. They've gotten 2 rifles upgraded to him as well. That paranoia was nice. Seeing it 1 for 1, though, it just isn't enough. Add a Captain Sheriff. It's going to be a tough thing for him to pull off. The spam comes through, he will fall.
And it was that late flank as well, just to secure the round if need be. The discipline from Heretics once more showing. Not giving CNED and the Rocket anything. And understanding the gap, the timing that Yedijay took top mid. They were able to drone out, pinch him, and then just hunker down and secure the round win.
And so Heretics will get to 6. A timeout will come through for FUT. Because they've won, I mean, they've won these rounds in bunches. They win 3, and then FUT kind of put this thing back together, and then another 3 come through.
But Heretics on their map pick, they're looking so strong right now, Doug. And Benji Fishy wasn't even playing on the B site that time. He flanked all the way around. So now something more to be worried about for FUT.
If there wasn't enough.
Yeah, another look.
Yeah. All these things that you have to consider when pressure is at its highest. When the stakes have never been greater for them. They made it to playoff stage, yeah. But you know where the real sweetness lies. And that's in front of the big crowd. That's in front of the big stage. That's in front of the bright lights.
And you want to be the EMEA team that's representing the entire region going into that Mercedes-Benz arena.
The final hope of EMEA. One of these two teams will carry that banner forth. And right now, it seems like it's Heretics strides ahead.
It's been very convincing so far. There was a lot of scrap in the beginning, but they've seemed to clean it up. As we head into this 9th round, FUT decide to go for a slow B main default. This time, no satchels invested from CNED. But the bomb is leaned towards A.
Contact, the name of the game here. You know, oftentimes you see a little bit of utility elsewhere. That's been enough to draw Boo to commit the TP to end B, but look where the spike is. There's a lot that Woot's gonna have to figure out here, and he doesn't have the time to do it.
A nice punish from Mr. Fallen, and now they're gonna freeze the round.
But the problem with this freeze here is that's gonna allow Heretics to rotate back A. So if FUT do want to end here, all of the manipulating of rotations that they did at the beginning of the round, it's gone. He's hearing all of this. Patatek has full info as to what's going on now. And look at the positioning from Heretics. They're already here. Patatek might have regretted being here as he's dealt with. Boo on the snap, that's real clean, but you're gonna have to do more than that.
Give me a corpse. Where is everyone?
Someone give the man a corpse.
Footsteps heard as well.
Paranoia in his face, they know where he is. He can see the swing coming, and there's nothing he could do about it. Rian's in a 1v3. Nothing found, not a single kill. FUT get their 3rd.
That was a very nicely called round off of the timeout. It was a fake from start to finish. Heretics bit. And Mr. Fallen with an entry and just being a bodyguard, protecting the president, who was Karax while he was in Thrash. That was it. Captain had a reflink to secure the round. That was a beautiful round for FUT.
Yeah, but honestly, all of it falls apart if Mr. Fallen doesn't get that opener onto Woot.
Yeah.
So massive props to him. Big round from the breach, and now ult online too. And it's the same look. The spike was cheating over towards A last time. It wasn't in tow. But it's the same look. CNED somehow dancing away.
Has the swing.
Avoiding the damage initially, but you cannot hide. Still a little bit more damage found. The spike's still not in hand.
And just like that, Captain is in and out after trading. A site has to be given for Team Heretics and B site. Boo, a lot rests on his shoulders right here.
Very reminiscent of the conversation we were having in the previous round, but it was Mr. Fallen who had the pressure. If Boo can find some space, yeah, maybe, but you've got to be paranoid of that. You've got to understand that you could be getting pushed elbow here. It's just a matter of time on when they turn around. Captain isn't turning. He's now turning! And now they've got the Hunter's Fury they have to deal with. Again, trying to find any target, trying to get any free tag, any free damage. Mr. Fallen was the hero in the previous round, and they're gonna call on him to deliver once more, but he can't. He just can't.
The proactivity from Boo. He knows he was the solo anchor. He took a timing down lane, wrapping all the way around elbow. That's no more smokes after he takes out Captain. And then the retake utility from Heretics. It doesn't matter what kind of numbers they have. It's always just so clean. CNED did a really good job early on here, actually in the face of adversity, getting a kill. But it was this play that I spoke of. That was it. That Omen flash to secure the round with the KO. Molly. And Mr. Fallen had no chance in the 1v3.
The window of opportunity for FUT is closing. It's getting smaller and smaller. Heretics at 7.
Right there.
4-1 approach for Team Heretics. This breach ult will connect onto at least Woot. But an early nade.
That's so aggressive, and Benji Fishy's able to play behind that. They've invested the Rolling Thunder, they've invested the Paranoia. Seen it? What? Stuns are cosmetic! Unbelievable! How does he get away with it? They should have fallen, they should have crumbled! But the wall stands strong. Right, what does Yetuje do here?
So insane. I mean, he can't do much. It's a 1v4, and with the disciplined approach that Heretics have had all series long.
And the money's terrible too, he just has to save.
And it really feels like that was it. That was the round you needed to secure. You needed that.
30 seconds
You
left.
invested the breach ult.
And you bought into it. This was a gun round. This was your best chance at a 7-5.
It was the half.
And all of a sudden, we're talking about the likelihood of a 9-3. My question was whether or not Heretics would hunt, because their money's in a decent spot for them to
10
go after it,
seconds
but it
left.
didn't seem like they were interested in moving. But now they've gotten active,
Wow, my eyes are down.
and I don't know that they're going to find him.
I should be able to come out of this unscathed, and bring this Vandal into the next round.
The only one close by is Boo, and they're just
Last
guessing at this
round
point.
before the switch.
Spend like there is no
The
tomorrow.
protocols of Heretics, they're just too clean.
I don't know, protocols, bro. He was fully stunned. What's a protocol in that?
I just imagine he would get traded out. That's been the name of the game so far on this map,
Yeah.
on this site. I mean,
That's true.
even Woot, I mean, he got hit by that Rolling Thunder, but he floods straight back in off the dart of Rians and supporting utility. But you are right. I mean, if CNIT gets that entry, it could be a completely different narrative. Maybe a salvation to a disaster of a half.
It doesn't seem like it's getting any better. Boo has been farming this over for free these last couple of rounds, by the way. He did it in the previous. There was no challenge. The only one who was close, who may have heard it, would have been Yetuje.
Satchel out.
This time he will get pushed back, but he steps back in and takes the head off of CNET.
Sent into the next half. Not allowed to play the game these last 2 rounds. He continues to do his job. He continues to do what's asked of him, but now Mr. Fallen sitting on the other side of this one way. How do FUT get in?
Right here.
The tip of the spear has been blunted. There is no go anymore. There is no execute. And so maybe through utility, they're able to find a window, brute force their way into the site, pry the bars open.
Right there.
But it's tough, man.
They're just locked in, they're locked out.
You see the smoke coming through. There's a little bit of utility that'll help. Attack is in a pretty brutal spot here, but if he dances around and plays cards right, he's going to be able to be the last one left standing. Singing the final song of this half for Heretics. There he is, he strikes, and the spike, the most prized possession, sits at his feet on 9-3 half. The way of Heretics. Dre, it was close until it wasn't. That rollout on B, just kind of destroyed everything.
And Boo, the step back into the punish. Such a good anchor on this A site all tournament long.
30 seconds left.
Even when he's walking backwards, he's trekking. Stops on a dime, gets another to clean up.
You're so good. The one word of caution I will give is that we've seen Heretics have a very big lead very recently. We'll see if they can hang on this time. Yinsu, what do you think?
Doug, I'm going to pretend like you never said that and that never happened because it's a great start. A 9-3 half for Team Heretics.
Yeah, Lightning doesn't tend to strike twice with those kind of comebacks. I mean, Team Heretics looked incredible throughout this one. I think proving again why this is a map that they have played so consistently and they're so comfortable on it. Woot, I think, had a great start to this game with this Sova KO composition. He had set up so well to perform.
And it's so important to also notice where he lands in the perspective that the team has towards this game. Retake after retake, just the same thing that we were seeing on Bind. The utility is so important that it's safe, and someone has to be the spearhead for all of this, and that has to be Wood. Even when there's barely any piece of utility following him up, he is going to perform.
He absolutely did in so many moments throughout this half, and that'll only continue once we get into their attacking side. But for FUT, this is really where they have to dig deep. If they lose this pistol round, they are in dire straits for the Turkish squad, who has already put together their deepest run we have ever seen at an international event.
I'm still looking at Cracks. I'm looking at Paditech as well. I want to see those initiators shutting down, and I want to see more of what we saw from Wood. We need to see from Zenit. It is the moment for him to step up if he wants to stay here and keep competing.
I mean, this is the thing. This is an impossible comeback. It has been done before. The 9-3 curse, it exists. But the question is, though, can FUT do it? Are they going to be the second team in a row in this tournament to pull off a comeback against Team Heretics? Let's get the rest of this map underway and get back into game with Doug and Baby May.
Much obliged, Sue. Yeah, there's no way that this happens again. There's no way they let a lead of monumental proportions get away from them. I mean, we saw them in the hallway after map 1, and they're like, yeah, no comebacks this time. We're not going to allow it. And I mean, they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is here.
The key difference here is that this is their map pick. They're familiar with this. They have so many reps this tournament alone on it.
Sure. That nade is gonna hurt. That does not feel good. There was nowhere for Paditech to go. Woot's gonna be a casualty as well. That's a really nice defensive hold so far. But who else but Boo paving the way.
Answering back. Benji now walking onto the site. Crack's gonna take a 1v1, but Boo again, steadying the shots.
In the face of a flash. Manages to get another. Just when it seems like Heretics should be put away, they continue to chip a little bit. They continue to find an advantage here, an advantage there. They're just nuisances. They never go away. When you think you've got them done, it's heroics. And it's going to require heroics if they want to get this pistol, if they want to get to 10.
There's one.
Uh-oh.
Last player standing.
Can Benji Fishy 1v2? No. Overwhelmed. J on the swing, but a fuse will come through for CNED. FUT needed the pistol, and they got it.
It was a good start. It was a good trap in mid from FUT. And it got a little shaky, got a little dicey, but they were able to hone it in and get the trades onto the actual site and secure a pistol round win to start a comeback. That was that trap I was speaking of, nade into Gecko Flash. And even add a captain from Market.
Enemy remaining.
Very nicely played.
They're still smiling. That's a good sign. FUT up to 4. An outlaw in the hands of Woot. The Des talked about how this felt like this is the moment that CNED needed to deliver in, excuse me. He needed to be, or needs to be, the leader for his team here. He needs to be a spark because Woot has done this entire series what CNED is needed to do.
I mean, he just lit a fuse right on Ada Captain's head, and now that's the smoke's gone from the round. And more Paditech cleaning up the tag from Woot. A nade to push back Yedije. And the entire map now is a playground for Team Heretics.
My camera is
They may have more options than they know what to do with. And what's tough is there's no info on the other side, so CNED has to rotate back B because of the possibility of a flip. They're spread so thin. It's a luxury they don't have in being able to stack here. The problem with this, though, is that even if they get picked off, they're going to lose these weapons. The upgrades are only going to get better for Heretics. The situation only getting more and more dire for FUT. Yes, CNED needs to deliver. Yes, there's a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Yes, there's a lot of eyes on him. But this? A 1v5? And now they know where he is?
It's impossible.
Heretics get to 10. That might be the dagger. They invested so much into that. That wasn't like a hobbled together buy. It wasn't stingers and things like this.
Woot. That entry onto the smokes player and then the tag to allow Patatek to secure the round, basically. And you're seeing it on the faces of FUT. That was the round you had to win.
The one that gets away. No point in thinking about that, though. They're going to have to make wine out of water if they want to pull this off. Literally looking for something out of nothing, and unfortunately for them, that's what they found there, nothing.
They tried to set it up. They tried to make a trap play. But Heretics, they're too ready for these plays. They're not going to let this one slip away like FUT did in the previous round. And with an outlaw on this attacking side, you have so much to worry about if you're the defense. You don't want to peek certain angles. You don't want to jiggle for space.
Yeah, I mean, you can't give them a line.
This head-to-head right here. Boo will come out on top. And now he's just going to probe into the A site. Trying to salvage anything is FUT with the flash in again. But that freeze, it baited out all the rotations, and that entire A space gathered from Boo. He calls his team back. The IGL taking things into his own hands after getting that entry.
FUT came into this tournament as the #3 seed from EMEA, but in the eyes of many is the best team to come from that region. There was a lot of hope. There was a lot of excitement behind this squad, and they roared out onto the stage. Don't get me wrong. They looked good. People understood why. Yeah, these guys can compete. These guys are pushing for hardware.
Player standing.
But it seems like they're going to take a bow to Shanghai with a whimper.
This has been one of the most one-sided maps we've seen.
Meanwhile, Heretics, as they get a flawless round win, as they get up to 11, now just 2 rounds away. 2 steps from the biggest stage so far. Their performance at Madrid, I mean, that's
Long
such
gone.
a distant memory, right? To get obliterated the way that they did, and yeah, they went up against Sentinels, and yeah, they went up against Heretics. I'm not taking that away from them. But the truth is, they went 0-2 when people had more expectations. People wanted more from these young kids, and it seems like they've matured and they've grown in such a massive way. To go from 0-2 to the Mercedes-Benz Arena, potentially, it's just so impressive.
Even just bouncing back from that 11-2 lead.
Oh, it's not getting any better, Dre. It's not getting any better. CNED tried punishing with the rocket, and the high ground for Mu was too much.
Down A.
An obliteration of FUT. Rians, another kill. In a free B site, holding for his team to rotate all the way through. FUT are so far behind in this round, in this match.
Right there.
A perfect representation of what's gone on this series. I mean, the first half of Bind was good. It was 6-6. We thought we had a fight on our hands.
Grenade.
That was the last swing that we saw come out from FUT. Cracks and Mr. Fallen will again be called upon to deliver heroics, to deliver magic. And Heretics, I mean, they've been in the face of this before. Again, surely they don't make the same mistakes that plagued them just 24 hours prior.
And there's no time to do this, so FUT, they're gonna throw in the towel on this round. Bring those guns into the next, and they're gonna have to perform an even greater miracle than what G2 did yesterday. If they want to represent EMEA at the Mercedes-Benz Arena, Woot, He saw the barrel of Mr. Fallen. He will get taken down.
Yeah, cleans him up, puts a crosshair right on him. So both rifles will look like they will be carried into the next. And that's all they're gonna have.
Match point.
The final hope here, man. It's so tough when it feels like nothing is going the way of a team. They're trying to be proactive, right? They're trying to set these traps. They're trying to take the initiative, but
They're just getting punished.
yeah, you're not even seeing the same pop-ups from Heretics that you normally see. You don't see them out of their seats. You don't see them going nuts. They know they've got FUT exactly where they want him. And so FUT hobble their way into the 17th round of regulation. What might be the last. That
No tag.
Oh yeah, it's not connecting, and Woot will gladly fill him behind it, and even that, a couple of parting shots, what should just be a warning, ends out tagging onto Scene at 63 HP, no armor left. Heretics pushing forward now, looking to put FUT down.
The bomb will go down, and so does CNET. Once more, a 4v5 now for FUT. Tournament life on the line.
FUT will put one final attempt at retaking a site, at prolonging this series. A flash in the face of Woot. The sidestep is there, and of course he snaps! Just like that! Cracks and Jay, what can you do? They've got the utility, they've got the mollies. What they don't have is numbers. And so Cracks will fall, and then there were four. Back to back to back, as Heretics toss FUT aside and survive.
From being 3 rounds away to the Mercedes-Benz Arena, they booked their ticket there today. And in a very convincing fashion,